Hi, I'm Baldwin Burgess, and I'm here with Dr. Ataf Ahmed of Q Invest. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you.
Great. We're in Dubai. We're at the Middle East Fund Forum 2013, and we're discussing all sorts of topics, not only about the region, but generally about growth markets. Now, you're based in Doha?
Yes.
In Qatar?
Correct.
So one of the fastest growing nations in the world?
Yes, it's been an interesting transformation.
Oh yes, I've seen it. I've been going there for 10 years. It's always amazing. How long have you been there?
I've been here for 3 years now.
Okay.
So it's been, even in 3 years, we've seen the country transform. In fact, earlier this year with a change in leadership, which was unprecedented in this region. Yeah. It's been truly a very interesting time.
Oh yeah, and absolutely. And so Doha is also really working hard to become a very good investment platform as well, right?
That's right.
You're a key piece of that, I think.
We would like to think so. I mean, Doha has strong ambitions to build out its capability. In fact, a lot of people in GCC are vying to be number one. But what we have going for ourselves at Q Invest is somewhat unusual.
I think you're in a very interesting space. The niche you're in makes total sense. So what you do is you essentially, let me see if I get this, you take global investment opportunities and then you transform these into Sharia compliant investment solutions. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct. I think the best way to think of it is we're looking to bring best-in-class investment opportunities and best-in-class investment talent to the Sharia investor.
Okay.
So quite often we've found in the past for groups looking to get exposed to Sharia investments that they were offered second-tier or suboptimal products or investments. So when we looked at that, our assessment was a lot of the higher caliber groups that we would normally be interested in dealing with in the conventional world were not interested in working in the Sharia space simply because they didn't understand it and didn't want to put the commitment required to build a Sharia product and moved over the line.
Okay, so what are you currently working on? What these days? What is the Sharia investor looking for?
Well, I think in the last few years the Sharia investor has been fairly similar to the conventional one, where you had an aversion to high levels of risk in the wake of the 08-09 financial market collapse, and there was a subsequent chase for yield. Okay. The challenge you had in the Sharia space was, unlike conventional investments where you have a very large and ample bond market, the only fixed income instruments they could go for was Sukuk, where there's a very large supply and demand imbalance. Effectively, there's a lot less supply than satisfies demand. So the Sukuk issuances, which are growing year on year, are issued, and for most institutions are held on a buy-to-hold maturity basis. Right. So what we've seen over the last few years is more and more Sharia investors move away from deposit accounts as base rates came down and starting to move up into additional, more risky asset classes, looking to get the additional return.
But then again, risk means, I guess, in essence, in Sharia finance, risk is a little bit less obvious than in typical asset classes, because just to be in the Sharia format, there is always a sharing of risk. So I guess it's a kind of risk that an investor can easily bear, right?
Yes, I mean, I think as you quite rightly said, the view on risk is a little dissimilar, but the context I was talking about were into assets that give you a higher return than cash.
Exactly.
One where you would need to put your capital to play and you need to participate in any upside or downside. So we're seeing a pickup in equity. There's a strong interest in the GCC. And I think in my experience, investors globally speaking will always have a very strong preference for their local markets, but we're now finding more and more investors that are prepared to go beyond the local borders, beyond the GCC, beyond MENA. Okay. So ourselves, we've launched a series of co-branded mutual funds where we've partnered up with best-in-class external managers, groups such as GAM Holdings, groups such as Eagle Capital Management, Edgewood Management, very established groups in the US.
There's some big names, yeah.
So very established groups. They work together with us to build new Sharia funds, which from what we can see are already sort of amongst the very best within their peer group. Right. Now going forward, we'll be adding on to our library of products. We'll be bringing on some more managers, focusing on Far East Asia, focusing on a little bit more EM but away from the GCC, and also looking to expand into other asset classes. Sukuk we have covered, and the challenge with Sukuk is there's a very limited universe of tradable Sukuk, so a lot of the portfolios ended up looking very similar. But beyond that, we're going to be looking into commodities, into FX, and our aim is to have the same range of choices available to the Sharia investor as you find for the conventional space.
Right, very interesting. You're in a good space there. There's a lot of growth there.
I think so. So time will tell.
Thank
It
you.
looks good so far.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.